Thank you for joining me here this evening. The time is currently 7:28 p.m. Central, and you have a live look at a brand new tornado warning in effect for portions of northwestern Illinois here. This includes portions of Joe Davies and Carroll counties. At 7:27 p.m. Central Daylight Time, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Massback, or 13 miles northwest of Mount Carroll, moving east at 25 miles per hour. If you are included in this tornado warning, make sure that you seek shelter immediately on the lowest floor of a building, away from windows, and in an interior room. That's where our rotation is. If we have a tornado on the ground right now, that's where it would be. It's going to be located right off to the east of Hanover, so if you're in Pleasant Valley, make sure that you're getting to your safe spot. This warning does not technically include Elizabeth, but the south side of town is included, but we're not really concerned about that region. The main spots that we're concerned about are areas like Massback, Elmoville, Pleasant Valley, and Willow. So again, if you're in any of those areas, make sure you are getting to your tornado safe spot immediately. We could have an ongoing tornado here just off to the northwest of Massback, but no confirmation on that yet, alright? But this is a pretty potent looking supercell here, so we'll have to watch this. Again, this is in a really populated area here, right? This is kind of the quad state area of southeast Minnesota, southwest Wisconsin, northeast Iowa, and northwest Illinois that we're kind of watching as of right now. We're watching some severe storms capable of producing tornadoes, damaging winds, and large hail start to roll through here. And again, we have our first tornado warning of the day now for portions of northwestern Illinois. This is going to be in effect for the next 46 minutes, so we're going to be here covering its entire lifespan. We, again, have our area of rotation here off to the east of Hanover that we're watching. It's going to continue to head southeast towards Pleasant Valley. So if you're tuning in from that area, make sure that you're getting to your safe spot, because we have an ongoing potential ongoing tornado here. Again, it's nothing confirmed as of right now, but there is the very real threat that it is currently on the ground. So treat it as if there were a tornado on the ground at this moment and take shelter immediately. I hope you guys like the new stream layout. I changed things up a little bit. I went ahead and put my screen a little bit higher up, and then at the bottom I added like and subscribe to help spread the message. That way you can see my message on the top of the screen much better. See, you can see the tornado warning, seek shelter now. Normally you wouldn't be able to see it at all. What's up, Alan Crow? What's up, Sam? Again, hopefully we got people tuning in here from northwest Illinois. I know Alan is, but again, we are watching all these supercells here as they progress southeastward, alright? These are going to move across northern Illinois, northern Indiana, alright? Eventually into western Ohio. And again, throughout their entire lifespan, they're going to have the potential to produce damaging winds, large hail, and maybe even a few tornadoes overnight. We do actually have a secondary mode of storms located up here in the portions of the northern plains, which, by the way, last night a significant damaging wind event ripped through portions of South Dakota here. If I go ahead and turn on the data overlay settings here, 24-hour past wind reports, look at this. Last night at 12:49 a.m., a 109-mile-per-hour wind gust was recorded just off to the northwest of Sansark, South Dakota. That is insane. This was a derecho or derecho-like event. I think it should technically be a derecho because it traveled 240 miles, did significant damage across its entire swath. I don't know if it's officially a derecho or not, so I'm not going to say that it definitely is, but that was a very, not unexpected, but a very highly overperforming damaging wind event. I could not tell you guys the last time that we had a wind gust recorded at 109 miles per hour that wasn't tornadic related. So that's obviously really scary. That's insane. That happened on a 30% hatch day for the wind threat. I mean, that's crazy. That just doesn't happen whenever you don't have, like, a super enhanced, like a moderate or a high risk of severe weather, but it happens. So, obviously, pretty scary stuff. Hopefully everybody out there is okay. Surprisingly, we really don't have that many power outages, so that's good. But anyway, we did just get a new severe thunderstorm warning in southwest Wisconsin for quarter-sized hail and 60-mile-an-hour winds. For southeastern Lafayette County here, Vince Welty is on that storm. What's up, Sean? Hi from Virginia. Virginia actually does have a severe weather threat. If you're in, like, extreme eastern portions of the state, it's not going to be anything crazy. I think at best you get a gust of wind that, maybe barely becomes severe, right? So, again, that's for a small section of eastern Virginia there, but outside of that, there's no real high threat for Virginia. But anyway, back to our tornado warning storm here. Again, some pretty nasty looking rotation. So we'll see what happens here. There's kind of a couple spots of rotation. Again, no ongoing tornado at this time that we can confirm, but we don't know, so we just need you to be in that tornado safe spot. Again, we have multiple areas of impressive rotation. This storm is in a decently tornadically primed environment. It's not anything crazy, but we could definitely see a tornado out of this storm here. We can't rule it out. So, again, we need you to be in that tornado safe spot if you're in Pleasant Valley. In an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. If you're in a mobile home, we need you to get out of there and find a more substantial shelter. Obviously, this isn't the first time that this region has seen something like this, so you guys should know your severe weather precautions, what you're supposed to do, so that's good news, but just make sure you're putting those all into place. But yeah, tomorrow could go moderate, not trying to scare anyone. There's been a lot of talk about a potential derecho tomorrow, and I mean, it's a pretty serious-looking threat for a similar area, actually, that we're talking about today, for northern Illinois, southern Wisconsin, eastern Iowa, northern Indiana, southwest Michigan, and northwest Ohio. We could see a derecho. I don't think we're going to get an update or an upgrade to a moderate risk of severe weather. The tornado threat is definitely there for tomorrow, but it's not going to be a strong tornado threat. If anything, it's going to be, an embedded tornado threat inside of our line of storms there. And the greatest threat for that, the tornado threat there, is going to be across eastern Iowa, southwest Wisconsin, northern Illinois, and northwest Indiana, where we have that 5% tornado threat within 25 miles of any given point in place. So we'll have to look out for that. But we'll look at the models later whenever we're in a less active period of severe weather, but they're crazy. But since we have a tornado warning right now, obviously we need to focus on that. Yeah. Let me go ahead and turn this light on here so the lighting's a little better. Okay. Let me fix something real quick. Alrighty. So again, if you're just now tuning in, we do have a tornado warning in effect for Pleasant Valley, Illinois. The National Weather Service in the Quad Cities has issued a tornado warning for southeastern Joe Daviess County in northwestern Illinois and north central Carroll County in northwestern Illinois. We do have a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado approaching Pleasant Valley over the next several minutes. So again, if you're in Pleasant Valley, Massback, Poles Grove, or Willow, you need to be in that tornado safe spot immediately. At this point, Massback, just give it a couple more minutes, but at this point you should be good. Areas like Elmoville and Pleasant Valley, you've probably got about 10 more minutes before we can give you the all clear. And then Willow, you should probably stay in that tornado safe spot throughout this warning's entire lifetime, if I'm being honest, just because you're on the edge of it. However, the chance of this tornado curving north and hitting you is actually pretty low if a tornado does get produced by this storm, because again, we don't have anything confirmed yet. It's just radar indicated at this point. And we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Forest County, Mississippi. All right. Yes, we are talking about Mississippi and Illinois in the same stream, I guess. Highway 49 here, severe thunderstorm warning for southeastern Forest County. Look out for that. Seems like a alright tornado threat. It's going to be a linear mode at places. Yeah, so again, we do have two modes of storms for today. We have one back into parts of the Midwest, and then we have another one back up into the northern plains here. And the interesting thing is they actually kept the marginal risk in between these two modes of storms. However, if you're in this circle today, Minneapolis, Rochester, northwest Iowa, you may not see a drop of rain. The reason that you're in this marginal risk of severe weather is because we have two different severe weather threats kind of around you, and the chance that one of those severe weather threats does spill into the Minneapolis area is there. But as of right now, Minneapolis, honestly, the severe threat looks incredibly low unless something drastically changes here. So if we take a look at things, we can see, Minneapolis, maybe tomorrow morning you get some, showers, maybe some thunderstorms with some gusty winds. But again, that's tomorrow that we're talking about. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. Back to our tornado warning here. Again, this is close to the Iowa, Illinois, Wisconsin tri-state region. Again, I know we have some viewers out here, so this is a pretty serious situation that we need to cover here. I know it looks like I'm hunched over. Here, hold on. This will fix that. But they just condensed the tornado warning here, and we actually do have, wow, so the public reported a possible tornado near Hanover at 7:25 p.m., so we may even have a tornado on the ground at this point. However, you know what, that was 13 minutes ago, so I'm not sure why it took so long to get that report in, but whatever. But we may have had a brief tornado. So give me just a second here. But yeah, we may have actually had a brief tornado produced out of this storm here. The only reason they can't push it to confirmed at this point is because, you know, that was 13 minutes ago, and also it says a possible tornado. It doesn't confirm anything, which is kind of annoying. But it does just say it was confirmed by the public, so obviously, if you're just a regular Joe, obviously, it's probably going to be kind of hard to tell the difference between, you know, a tornado on the ground and a funnel cloud. So we can't really confirm anything. Now, if it was like a weather spotter that said there was a tornado, or law enforcement that said it would be something to take a little bit more seriously, and again, you should still take this seriously, but I'm just trying to say, you know, there's no confirmation of anything at this point. I should wear the Dr. Pepper shirt next stream. I'm wearing the Doritos shirt today, so... At this point, this storm looks to be broadly rotating. It's not anything crazy, but we'll continue to watch it here. Again, make sure you're still in that safe spot. Pleasant Valley, give it maybe 5 more minutes, and we can give you the all clear. Elmoville, all clear. Massback, all clear. Pauls Grove, give it a couple more minutes. Willow, give it a couple more minutes. Soundings show a messy mod, so it's messy model, so it's guaranteed, or a messy mode, sorry. I can't see the end of the chat message there, or not the end of it, but that word, it gets cut off. But nice off topic, but I want to keep it weather related since we have tornado warnings. What's up, Roman? How's it going? Again, if you're just not tuning in, we do have an ongoing tornado warning here in northwest Illinois for Pleasant Valley. At 7:25 p.m., the public reported a possible tornado near Hanover. So, again, if you're included in this tornado warning still, we need you to be in that tornado safe spot. This is still in effect for southeastern Joe Davies and north central Carroll counties. At this point, the main focus is going to kind of switch over to the Carroll County side here. So... we'll see what happens, but we're kind of right along the county line here in the Pleasant Valley area, east of Highway 78, most likely is where your rotation's at this point. Could have been a microburst. Possible this is either an SLC or an actual tornado. That's the thing, again, it says public reported, so... yeah, I mean, it could have just been a funnel cloud, it could have been scud, it could have been a tornado, we really don't know, unfortunately. The report was not very specific, but yeah. So, anyway, let's see here. Again, at this point, our rotation is going to be mainly off to the east of the Pleasant Valley area. So at this point, if you're in Pleasant Valley, you're good. But we are concerned about areas to the east of you. Areas like Willow, down to the south. Not a lot of good indicators that I can point out here. This is a pretty rural area out in the hilly regions of northwest Illinois. So not a lot of towns out here, luckily, in this specific spot. But if we get a little further southeast, it starts to get a little bit more populated. So let's hope that this storm kind of continues to die out as it has been over the past few scans. But, yeah, I mean, as of right now, really our only thing to look at, we do not have any destructive severe warnings. We don't really have any other storms that are rotating at all. This storm earlier, I was watching this earlier. It had a bit of rotation whenever it was closer to the Andover area, but at this point, it's much weaker, and even then, it was broad rotation to say the least. So, nothing too crazy out of that, obviously. But it still has the tornado possible tag on it for the next 2 minutes, so we'll see what they do whenever that warning expires there. See if they reissue it or whatnot. But yeah, Storm Chaser Vince Welty is diving south here to get on our tornado warning storm as fast as possible. He's going down Highway 78. Right now, he's in Stockton, pretty much. But again, at this point, to me, it looks like broad rotation. I think the only reason they're keeping this tornado warning is because of that report of a possible tornado closer to, what was it called? Hanover. Which is actually interesting because that was even before it got tornado warning, but I was watching this storm. I mean, that's, definitely could have been a brief tornado there. No doubt about it. Definitely a possibility. Again, no confirmation, but still pretty concerning stuff. Right now, we don't have too much going on in our Northern Plains event. We did just get a new severe warning for parts of North Dakota. Ping pong ball size down, 60-mile-an-hour winds for Gardena. And this storm actually does look like it's trying to hook out, so we'll see if it tries to rotate at all, but I don't know. As of right now, it's really not doing too much. But that's like the one cell that we're really watching right now. We're watching cell after cell spill in from Canada here into North Dakota. That's been the way it has been for the past few hours in this area. As you can see, some of them have been producing large to very large hail. But, I mean, so far this has been a pretty underwhelming event. It's been a little bit of an underperformer, which is good news. Could have been a possible tornado. Also, we need rain in Abbeville, South Carolina. Your grass is burning up. That right there at Pleasant Valley doesn't look that broad. I mean, it's not super tight. They did actually just issue a new severe thunderstorm warning with the tornado possible tag on it, so it's looking like they're going to drop the tornado warning here already. Possible funnel cloud, but trees covered the bottom, so they didn't know if it was on the ground or not. I mean, that could have been what happened. But anyway, again, it's looking like they're going to drop that tornado warning. So, let's see here. What are we going to do for the rest of this stream? Because I can almost guarantee you there's not going to be any other cells that are going to be interesting, but I'm not doing a 17-minute stream. We can go ahead and... Why did I choose the GFS to look at? We can go ahead and look at the HRRR for tomorrow's event. We're not going to be able to see it that well in the HRRR, actually. Let's change the NAM. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is noon tomorrow. You can see not a lot going on. However, by 3 p.m., that starts to change. We start to see some pop-up showers and storms in southern Minnesota and eastern Iowa. By 6 p.m., we have an absolute mess of storms here going on in parts of the UP of Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Iowa, even stretching back into portions of extreme eastern Nebraska, extreme northwest Illinois. By 8 p.m., that continues, and you can kind of see we have kind of a dominant area of storms here charging through central Iowa. This is going to have the potential to produce damaging winds up to 60 to 70 miles per hour, but as it gets, further into the night, it's actually going to become an even bigger wind threat. By 9 p.m., we could have our highest threat of the day, with the damaging wind threat, being really unknown at this point. It's looking really concerning. I wouldn't rule out 80 to 90 mile per hour winds with that. I'm just being honest. By midnight, that line of storms is still charging across mostly northern Illinois there, also extreme northeast Missouri. And by, 1, 2, 3 a.m., that kind of rolls into parts of Indiana, Ohio, and Michigan, and it's still going. It doesn't die, right? Southern Michigan, northwest Ohio, northeast Indiana. And this is why people are saying it could be a derecho. It's just because of how long tracking it's supposed to be. So we'll see what happens. But by 4 a.m. on Tuesday, we're still dealing with the damaging wind threat around Toledo, Ohio, 5, 6, 7. finally starts to lose some steam, and then we can actually see the beginning of our event on the Wednesday, which is probably going to be a slight or even an enhanced risk of severe weather across the Ohio River, and maybe even a tornado threat in the Northeast to watch for. So, anyway, so there are a lot of chat messages. Sorry, I can't keep up right now. That's kind of the outlook as of right now for tomorrow. That's kind of what we're thinking for the entire day, even going into Wednesday. Or, sorry, going into Tuesday. Wait, what? What did I say? I don't even remember. Anyway. Yeah, at this point, this rotation is done. That storm is not going to produce a tornado. I can almost guarantee that. Again, it may have produced a brief tornado near Hanover earlier, but that's not confirmed. So, I mean, look at this cell here in North Dakota, guys. Look at that hook. No rotation on it, though. It almost even looks like we have a rear flank downdraft, but I'm not seeing any rotation at all. If we did have rotation, it'd be near Kramer. I think it's just an oddly shaped supercell there, or an oddly shaped cell. Not supercell, really, but... See here, this is a look at Vince Welty. Look at that storm. Nasty. Torrential rain, lightning. New severe thunderstorm warning has now been issued with the tornado possible tag on it for portions of northwest Illinois. For Mount Carroll. Where's the warning, Illinois, Davis? Yeah, it's in... Our tornado warning right now is in northwest Illinois, but it's probably going to be removed or allowed to expire here. As, one, the rotation's moved out of the polygon, and two, it's just done at this point. No sort of tornado threat with that storm at this point, unless it really gets its act together again. But what happened is it kind of rammed into another storm, which, you know, before I started the stream, I was kind of watching that, and it's really been 2 cells this whole time. But if you look, for a while, this was a potent cell. It was. But it wasn't discrete. That's been the problem with a lot of our storms today. They have not gotten the opportunity to become discrete, and therefore they haven't been able to rotate. So, but, yeah. So anyway... see here. Again, no other immediate areas of concern here in terms of rotation. Well, the cell merger briefly enhanced it, but eventually it choked it off completely. That's why we don't have anything at this point. What's up, Chloe? Chloe? How do we pronounce that? Sorry. But... Again, if you're just not tuning in, we are watching an ongoing severe weather outbreak across portions of the Midwest. We're also watching a severe weather event trying to get going here in the Northern Plains. Not really doing a great job, though. Right now, we only have the one storm to really watch there. And then we've also got a storm warned for 70-mile-an-hour damaging winds in Arizona. I saw this earlier. But yeah, this is in the Tucson area. We also have a considerable flash flood warning for Tucson. So if you're in that area, turn around, don't drown. So let's go back up to our tornado warning storm here. Again, nothing too crazy as of right now. But, let's see. Tucson? What? That's not what I said. Alright. We did have a pretty major damaging wind event across Ohio and West Virginia today, and a little bit of eastern Indiana there. But you can just see by the power outage map alone that we had some significant winds come through. Kind of an unexpected one at that. I mean, it lasted all the way into an area that didn't even have a general thunder risk, or at least it doesn't now. But that is how it's pronounced, Tucson. I mean, it's Tucson, but... Similar, yeah. If you see me looking down, that's just me reading chat. Let's check the SPC, see if we have any new updates. So we actually do have an update here on our severe thunderstorm watch. Let's see here. Severe weather threat for severe thunderstorm watch 534 continues. That's the one across northern Illinois, southern Wisconsin, and eastern Iowa. We also have another mesoscale here that is really concerning. Increasing threat for significant hail to around baseball size through dusk in northwestern North Dakota here. I'm not seeing any storms capable of producing baseball size hail as of right now. It's not to say that that can't change, but that's really surprising that they put that mesoscale out with that aggressive of wording, I think. But they went for it. Again, just looking at this absolutely ridiculously shaped supercell. It is a supercell. It's like, it really looks like it has a rear fling downdraft and a hook echo, but it's not rotating. So what's going on? I mean, it's a good thing that it's not rotating. I'm just confused. Let's get back to the chat here. Davis, there's a large marginal for day 3. Yes. Yeah, we have a marginal risk that goes all the way from parts of the southern plains back into the northeast. Sorry, not the southern plains, the central plains. But back into New England, from Maine to Wyoming tomorrow, we have a huge marginal risk of severe weather, including over almost 40 million people. So we'll watch that. Likely going to get an upgrade to a slight risk, as, again, the Ohio Valley looks concerning on Tuesday, and the Northeast looks concerning on Tuesday, my opinion. But anyway, again, anybody wondering why these storms aren't able to take advantage of this tornadically primed environment, it's because they're not discrete. Look at this. We have a big cluster of storms here, which is obviously going to create a flash flooding threat, but that actually limits our tornado threat. These cells, they want to be discrete if they want to produce tornadoes, right? Whenever they get all bunched up into a big cluster of thunderstorms here, it's rare that we ever get a tornado like that. So, and the marginal, yay, same. All right. Let's see. Not much to talk about right now. Once again, I mean, I really don't want to, again, have a 27-minute stream, but I don't know what I'm supposed to talk about whenever we don't really have anything going on. Again, we do have a tornado warning, but at this point, I don't know why it's still in effect, because 1, the area of rotation has moved out of the warning box, and 2, it's not even there anymore. That area still is saying storms, which, again, is going to have a increased flash flooding threat because of that. By the way, the flash flooding threat is actually pretty high today. They did keep it at a slight risk of flash flooding, but I feel like, they were that far away from upgrading that to a moderate risk. But basically, northern Illinois, eastern Iowa, southeast Minnesota, southern Wisconsin, southwest Michigan, and northwest Indiana is where our greatest flash flooding threat lies for today. That's a 15% chance of flash flooding within 25 miles of any given point. Check some other areas for rotation. Well, that's the thing. There's nothing. I've been checking other areas. I checked other areas before stream, and there's been no other cells that have done anything even remotely impressive in terms of a tornadic potential. We've had big hail, we've had damaging winds, but if you look around, there's no other rotating storms here because they're not discrete, which is good, but yeah, cell mergers will enhance them, but like this is not considered a cell merger. Like if we had a cell back here, if it ran into this, it would die. We do have what looks to be a little bit of a hook forming here northwest of Morrison that I noticed, but could just be the shape being coincidental there of the storm. We'll see if that starts rotating. It's a possibility. We have some rotation here north of German Valley, it looks like, on the northeast side of German Valley. Looks to be some intense rotation, not intense, but some decent rotation there. That is going to be heading towards Rockford here, so if we have any viewers here in Rockford, make sure you're looking out for that. This will move into the extreme northern portions of the Chicago suburbs over the next couple of hours here. See if it keeps rotating. You're concerned about severe weather and flooding also making its way towards the lower Ohio Valley. It's a possibility. But yeah, I know cell mergers are hit or miss, but I'm just saying, like, you know, a big cluster of rain like this isn't going to help any storms become tornadic. We also, it looks like we have some rotation here south of Hanover with this storm. Okay, yeah. So southeast of Hanover, we may have some rotation here. Could just be contamination, though, honestly, near Blackhawk and Arnold, but we'll watch that. Yeah, we have a couple spots of broad rotation here heading for Rockford, so we'll see what happens with all those. But, just a second. And I know it looks like I'm, like, leaning over, but I'm really not. It's just because of how close I am to my camera and the way that the computer's angled. We no longer have a tornado warning, by the way. I don't know when that got removed. I wasn't paying attention because I was just expecting it to happen. We are definitely on more than 4 severe warnings. What are we on? 11. Yeah, let me know if you like the new style of layout here. You can actually see the top text a lot better now. Davis, can you, or are you slow to use cams? What? Allow, I mean... Well, I mean, I can, but it's only for like a couple seconds, and yeah. This is Brooklyn, Wisconsin. Look at that. Ominous skies, to say the least. Are you slow to use cams? I was like, what? Davis Junction, Davis. There are a lot of places named Davis in northern Illinois. Wait, there's a new tornado warning. The names include Davis anyway. We have a tornado warning in Arizona now. The alert sound didn't go off, folks, but we have a tornado warning for Summer Haven, Arizona. Take cover now. Wow. There's no way. How do we have a tornado warning in Arizona? This storm's actually rotating. I mean, again, if you're in Summer Haven, you need to be in that safe spot. Soldier camp, get ready. This is actually a pretty dangerous storm. Wow, that really shocked me. Gonna update the title to tornado warning in Arizona. Here we go. Severe warning counter is inaccurate. Oh, no, it's not. It's just pushed to the side. What's up, NATO dude, Adam? Again, if you're just not tuning in, we do have a tornado warning in Arizona now. We went from a tornado warning in Illinois to a tornado warning in Arizona. But we do have a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado near Summer Haven. So if you're in this area, seek shelter immediately. This is for portions of northeastern Pima County and southern Pinal County. No ongoing tornado at this time, it doesn't look like, but it's a possibility. It's a basher. But yeah, I mean, it's decently tight rotation, so we'll see what happens. It's moving northwest, which confuses my brain, but yeah, I mean, Tucson just got hit by a pretty extreme rain. Definitely some large hailstones in there, some damaging winds, but it looks like, for the most part, the tornadic threat is northeast of Tucson here again. Just cross past Summerhaven, heading towards the Samaniego Peak, Mule Ears, Marble Peak, and on the east side of Catalina. So again, if you're in this area, make sure you are seeking shelter immediately on the lowest floor of the building. The cell's not even rotating from both radars. It could be contamination because of the mountains. What are your thoughts on the severe weather threat tomorrow? Well, again, we've been talking about that. There's definitely the threat for a potential derecho tomorrow. Again, at the very least, we are definitely going to have a very serious damage and wind risk across parts of the Midwest and the Great Lakes region. Maybe even going back towards the Ohio Valley here. We'll see what happens with that. Well, I mean, that's not really the Ohio Valley, but eastern Ohio, northern West Virginia, western PA. So we'll see what happens. We have a lot of new folks tuning in. I'm glad you're all here. Again, if you're new here, I'd appreciate it if you dropped a like and hit that subscribe button, but it's not required. We do severe weather coverage every day here, at least whenever there's somewhat active weather, which has been every day recently. So that's cool. And it's not looking like it's going to be over anytime soon, so we'll see what happens. Well, I mean, maybe it's not about the tilt so much as the mountainous regions out here compared to the mountainous regions back here being a little bit, I don't know, this one has less mountains to go through, so yeah, I'm pretty sure it's rotating. Alright, yeah, no problem, cats. Thank you for tuning in. Again, if you have any questions about your location, feel free to leave those down below. I'll try to answer them accurately and honestly. Let's go back to the Midwest here for a second. We do have a new severe thunderstorm warning for the storm that Vince Welty's on for 60-mile-an-hour winds and nickel-sized hail. He's off to the west of Evansville there. Oh, wait, that's not even Vince Welty. That's the Brooklyn cam. They have the same icon, so. Oh, there's Freddie McKinney. Let's go. What's up? That's awesome. Thank you for tuning in. That's still crazy to me. I can't stop smiling. I don't know if you can tell, but again, if you're just now tuning in, we do have a tornado warning here. 4 areas northwest of Summerhaven. It does technically include Summerhaven, but at this point, that's not really the area of concern. Storm's not even really rotating that much anymore. Again, it was a little bit more tight earlier, but so anyway. Again, if I keep looking down, it's just because I'm looking at chat, but I have to look past my microphone, so. Here, I'll fix that. Alrighty. Again, I mean, like, Four corner states marginal risks, I feel like always way overperform. Well, we did not have a tornado warning. We did not have a tornado risk out here at all in Arizona today. So we thought. But that did not end up being the case. Again, we do have a very, very marginal risk of tornadoes up here for parts of North Dakota. I think the greater tornado threat lies back down in the Midwest. But again, even then, it's not a super high risk. Got a couple of new severe warnings here in northern Illinois. Just for these typical 60-mile-an-hour damaging wind gusts. So, don't forget, guys, the storm in Arizona is also producing damaging winds up to 70 miles an hour. So even if it's not going to produce a tornado, it's still dangerous for folks northwest of Tucson, Oro Valley, Catalina, areas along Interstate 10 in between Marana and Tucson. I mean, if you're in like a semi traveling through that area, or you know anybody that might be, make sure to, get off the road there. Let those people know what's going on. All right. Whoops. What did I do? I don't even know what I did there. Okay. Our North Dakota storm here. The supercell that doesn't want to die but also doesn't want to rotate is continuing to chug along. Again, we sort of, kind of, maybe have a hook echo with a rear flank downdraft looking thing, but it's really not rotating, which is interesting. Alright, so the tornado warning has been removed. I don't want to end things off here, though. If anybody has any questions, now would be the time to ask them. Like the new update, Davis. You're talking about the stream overlay? Thank you. But if anybody has any questions, now is the time to ask them, because if not, we're probably going to start wrapping up here. But I see a lot of people are just out tuning in, so before we go, I just want to clear everything up. Again, if nobody has any questions, probably start to wrap things up. Looking like today is going to be quite a bit of an underperforming day, which is good. But yeah, especially the Northern Plains event. I really thought this would be quite potent. It's been a few considerable severe warnings in northern North Dakota, and that's it. So that's good. But this severe watch is really high end, right? It talks about, tennis ball sized hail, 75-mile-an-hour winds, tornadoes. What's Abbeville, South Carolina looking like? I mean, you're in that pattern where, you got these pop-up showers and thunderstorms pretty much all summer long. Don't think you have any risks of severe weather for the next few days, but again, can't rule out thunderstorms. But yeah. Alright. I think we're done here, everybody. So, thank you all for tuning in. It's been relatively eventful, so that's definitely kept us watching here. But at this point, we're good to go. So we're going to end off this stream. Again, we'll be back live tomorrow. We'll be live on Tuesday. Will Southwest Indiana see any flooding or severe weather? Well, technically you do have a chance, but it's a incredibly low chance. You're in the marginal risk today in Southwest Indiana, and same thing for tomorrow. Good night. But same thing for tomorrow, and even going into Tuesday, you're in the marginal risk, right? So you've got these continuous days of maybe storms. I think your best chance for storms will be on Tuesday or Wednesday, but today and tomorrow don't look too crazy for you. So anyway, again, thank you all for tuning in for real this time, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.